hoping that one day we can get back right over there, because what you could see over there from the people over there on the stands, they really love the game.
Of course, we love the game, the viewers love the game, and to start off this first series, the first game of KIS4, we have KAGENDRA on towards the blue side and Dominator Esports on towards the red side. The bans have started. It is Luna removed from the pool.
Luna is just one of those heroes that it does not matter how the patches change, it does not matter how the meta changes, it's always Luna being over there on the ban and pick. It's always the participation. It's either being taken, it's being put away. When is this going to change? I don't see that changing ever, man.
I think it's really like the strength of the jungle assassins in the global patch. Yeah. We have Luna, we have Jing, we have Pei, and recent introduction of Yang Jian after the rework Twilight in the jungle. He's been on a roll right now. That's why you see a lot of the bans are targeted on towards these jungle. And of course, Forge Maiden Chicha, one of these strong flex. You can play it in the Clash lane, you can play it in the jungle, you can play it in the farm lane. A very flexible pick being locked in for KAGENDRA as their first pick.
The versatility of the hero, and that allows it to be a perfect first pick. That first pick for a lot of people, when you are in the blue side and you have that first pick, you need to be either just going to one of the two ways. You either want to just pick a meta hero or you want to pick a versatile pick. That versatile pick right over there still hides everything, and right now Dominator Esports is going to have the ball on their court.
And this specific DMT 1-2 traces back to that 2024 KC 2024 run, where they always love to force this Mai Shiranui with Zhang Fei composition for those hard engages. And KAGENDRA, they are like welcoming you in their arms, like, hey, you want a hard engage? You know what's the new hero that we have? It's Haya, the Evernight Aspiration, locked in for Senko in that mid lane. So both mid lanes have a very aggressive setup. Haya, strong bush control, strong initiation on that ultimate. The Mai Shiranui on the hands of Gerald, perfect as well to get those big knockups and big knockbacks. So it really comes down to whoever pulls the trigger first between these two mid lanes.
Right now, if we just analyze like the first round of picks, a lot more aggression coming in from Dominator Esports. They've got initiations, they've got nice run of burst damage. KAGENDRA on the other side, a very KAGENDRA pick. That Agudo over there, a very KAGENDRA pick. The Haya and the Chicha, the early game does not look very strong for them though.
Fully agreed with you.
They might want to revamp that a little bit more.
Yeah, like it could be safe for both teams. Like KAGENDRA, the only early game PowerPoint that I see right now is Senko on that Haya, and whoever gets their hands on this Chicha. Chicha's laning phase is extremely strong. That could mitigate the early game pressure. But when we talk about that after 4 minute, that mid game breakpoint, that's when you see DMT's draft starts to come online even more, forcing that initiation, play around that push power coming in from the DRNG Magistrate. That's how you pummel the game into a 10-minute break or dead situation. But same can be said also. DMT, where does the late game come from? They have no late game.
But up until right now, they do not have anything, and they might want to just fix that with their last pick. They first come in and they take that Dharma. They're gonna lock in that Clash laner. Very strong pick. You can see that on the other side, they might answer that with a Charlotte. That Charlotte against Dharma matchup in there, I don't know exactly who might be able to take the upper hand.
Both are traditionally not the strongest laners, I would say, but when we talk about laning phase as well, Lu is on Brush Strider, another strong roam in the early game to match up the tempo that DMT is proposing right now. And the Lam, Stelfin, being locked in by DMT to counteract against the Agudo pick. But here's the thing, I'm not sure if KAGENDRA plays the jungle Chicha, because the Agudo and Chicha can still flex between farm lane or jungle for the side of KAGENDRA.
What are they going to try to do? I love the way that they picked a lot of versatile picks right over there. They decide to go with Aguto over there in the jungle. It's going to be facing the person that's going to be managing on that. I love the way that they are picking Dominator Esports, very strong counter. Every single move that KAGENDRA made, Dominator Esports counter it in a very exquisite way.
Okay, Isaac, given
Please.
the 10 picks being locked in for you, who do you give the upper edge to in terms of draft?
In terms of draft, it's gonna depend. I am a very big Lamb. I'm very big Lamb fan. I love Lamb. It is just a hero that needs a lot of mechanics. Not only mechanics, you need to understand the timing of the fights really well. You cannot just really come in and initiate the fights. You need to have an understanding with your team of who is going to initiate, who is going to actually just deal some damage, and then halfway through it, you need to come in. Can they really understand that timing? If they can understand that timing, that Lamb is going to have an amazing day.
I think with the amount of setup coming in from Dominator Esports, you have the Zhang Fei, you have the Fire Ninja Mai Shiranui. A lot of the times, TNX can just sit back on the Lam, wait for that prime time to enter, like you mentioned here. So that wouldn't be much of an issue coming in from DMT's draft. But my only concern for Dominator Esports is they need to end the game with little to zero mistakes, because their composition isn't really strong going into the late game.
It is going to be a very difficult one for them. No mistakes on the first game of 2026 when your hands are still cold, when everything is still like a little bit rusty and stiff. That's difficult to say, and that's difficult to do, Sagi, because this is going to be the first game of 2026. It's difficult not to make no mistakes.
Yeah, very good point, right? Especially it's the first game, hands are cold. It makes you want to rethink your choices here. But hey, picks are locked in, heroes are locked in, drafts are finalized. Let's head into game one between KAGENDRA and Dominator Esports as the opening match for our Honor of Kings Invitational Season 4 in Jakarta, Indonesia.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is going to be KIS for first game. You can start seeing already the rotations. Sakir coming into the mid lane just to kind of like get the vision, understand what's going on, and then just makes the rotation down to one.
And top lane, 1v1 scenario here might be broken apart coming in for Senko here. This is the strength of the higher Evernight Aspiration. 3 stacks on your spell, what immediately clears the wave. For those who don't know how it actually functions, you see the white bar below Haya. She can cast 3 spells, spell 1 or spell 2, and then it goes on to cooldown.
Lovely movement there by Gerald. Comes in and then she's able to steal a little bit of the farm. That's gonna put Facer on his back heel. And right now it's gonna be Lamb the one that's gonna make it first to 4 and the rotation to the mid lane. Look at that.
It's a cause and effect. You lose out the early piggies, and then you are slowed to level 4, and then the enemy gets the mid lane priority before you, hence they get more map control. But so far in the early game, nothing too much of a war happening around the map. It's more on give and take. Bot lane winning the 2v2, top side is solidly winning over that 1v1 against Hot C.
Mid lane activity one more time right over here. We get already to the 2 minutes mark. When we get already to the 2 minutes mark, we need to start looking at where the junglers are going to be. You can start seeing the rotations. We have timers on the first blue box that they're going to start spawning because the fight might start immediately. Look at that, I'm calling it.
We see a counter engage coming in from Lu. TNX has no mobility, has to back away towards safety here, but good initiation on towards Senko. No flash coming in for that Tyrant.
So wait.
We need to understand the timings of that. Look at that. Agudor needs to proc his ulti in order to just clean that wave and being able to run away. That was a great movement coming in for Dominator Esports.
Yep, for now, game is really starting to pace into that 4th minute mark, getting control, finding the engage on towards Lu. But of course, everyone, if you're into free stuff, if you're into CD keys, click in that wildfire with that 1 instead of the I into your CD key redemption to get that 1,400 pass EXP.
Firestorm is going to be one more of our CD keys right over there, ladies and gentlemen. You can always go in game, use them, and who does not like free stuff? I love free stuff. Get me some of that, please.
Same here. Like, if I can get the Anuma for a cheap price, sign me up as well. And you can see the early game aggression coming in for both teams is really just poke, get map control, and don't go for those big fancy plays. But I'm still waiting to see who Senko decides to ult on that first ultimate. Is it going to be mirroring Tyrant? Is it going to be the jungler during the Smite War contest? I want to see how he plays the first ever game of Haya in pro play for Global.
30 seconds to the objectives to be online. We can start seeing a very clear trend. Both the Clash lane and the farm lane is just 1v1s, and then the rest of that is just a 3v3 rotation around the river, around the brush, just trying to get a little bit of an advantage. That advantage is not being open, and both teams are being extremely careful with their movement.
At the very least, this time KAGENDRA gets the first mid push here, already setting the Haya into a very comfortable place here. L getting some vision, forcing KAGENDRA to back off from this choke point.
Tyrant already on, is gonna come into 50%. It's gonna be Dominator, the one that has the advantage over that. And look at the fight starts.
Yeah, Bridal Outburst whips onto entirely of the team here. No one gets caught in the Beast's ultimate. But, you know, it's a handshake. DMT gets the objective and is back to a farming tempo. Bot side here. Grandmaster Forge, caught by Zan, forcing the cleanse to be committed coming in from CC. You can see a lot of the spells are being channeled in towards the bot side here. Kachusa is landing on towards Lu, forcing yet another retreat from both sides.
That Tyrant is going to be an amazing objective for Dominator. They took it almost for free, and that was great news for them, as right now that gap, that little experience gap, might start building up and might start opening opportunities for them.
Knock up on towards L here. The Wusuke Mirage captures the enemy Zhangfei into a 1v1 here. It's Senko versus L in that Mirage. But outside of here, there's 4 people waiting for him. The troop matches on the 2. Get Senko, get Blue, and that's not over yet. As TNX finds his prey. Big Data Tree for
Look at that!
late to the fight. Gets punished immediately by Jurl on that My Shiranui engage.
Dominator Esports comes in, gets that fight, a 4-0 trade. This is amazing news for them. They came in, it was the higher that, and if Lamb can just can connect those 3 kills, that's gonna start snowballing really badly for them.
Yeah, just check out the goal lead right now. It's a almost 3K goal lead in favor of Dominator Esports, and this is what we talk about during the pick and bans. DMT's draft is very aggressive and needs to win all the little skirmishes to get that 10-minute comfortable domination, and right now it's looking extremely good for South DMT.
Well, right now we're gonna have to move our attention over here to the mid lane. It's gonna be 4 people against 1. The 4v1 gank against the Charlotte, and the Charlotte is gonna have to run away.
But look at TNX position here. He's camping. He's looking for Solo here. Space getting 2. Then from below pushes back to the team here. But there's no follow-up. TNX going extremely low. Gets hit by the knockup coming in from Lu on the Boost Strider.
TNX thought that he was gonna come in and do some hunting, and then they just returned back the favor, telling him, you think you're big enough, you're not there yet, boy.
And we see a 1v1 towards the bot side here. Zan pops the Grandmaster Force into a 1v1 against Top Z. But it's just a handshake between ultimates here. Ultimate for ultimate gets the disengage to go back towards safety.
Alright, let's wait and see what's gonna happen. They need to slow down a little bit right now. Dominator Esports do not want to just waste all this advantage that they have in the moment, right? Like, they had already almost a 3,000 gold advantage, came into this fight a little bit too eager, and they just lost a little bit of that bag. They need to slow down and understand that when you look at the items right now, they're still not here in their power spike.
Fully agreed. Consistent pressure needs to be generated by DMT while acknowledging the fact that you cannot play over eager because there's so much counter engage coming from KAGENDRA's draft. We do see Feishi utilizing the Defrost Siege, slowly chunking L's health bar, forcing him away from that brush. But back to our topic here. 2 different playstyles. DMT needs to press the pedal, but not too fast. KAGENDRA needs to slow down DMT's pace and make sure this game goes slightly later compared to them.
We're gonna make it to the 8 minutes mark right now. You can see that the whole map right now is in control of DMT. KAGENDRA right now just doing a little bit of a running around, trying to just turn off the fires, just trying to put fires out. They have no control of the map right now. What do they need to do to turn things around? It's gonna depend a lot on what Phase 3 can do on that Agudo.
He's putting a lot of pressure as well. Aggressively cleaning those bushes, getting the vision that KAGENDRA needs. That also goes into the drop that we talked about, but Unbridled Outburst catches on towards Lu. Lu forces to burn the flash, but this gives a direct angle towards the mid lane for that mid tower. Death from below, catches on, pushes in into the hungry mouths of the DMT, but Facial gets a beautiful knock-up kill, but that wasn't enough at all as 4 members fall for the side of KAGENDRA as they are losing hope in every single exchange. CC just going around with that low health bar. That is a clean ace for the side of DMT Esports.
DMT comes in, takes a 5-0 trade. It is going lovely for Dominator Esports. They came in, they took the turrets, they take the kills. Ace in their bag, and this game at 9 minutes mark, it's looking like for Dominator Esports completely. Look at the replay. Just the way that they initiate right over there, the truth mantra against the wall is what sets them up for success.
That was a 3-man truth coming in from PUBG, and when everybody fall, only Solé arrived late. This is like a statement match for PUBG saying like, hey, there's a reason why you're my sub.
Your words not mine, Zach. Look at that. One more time.
Immediately with the Ryu engine, catches on towards Facial, and Facial is annihilated from the map. CC gets the kill on towards Zan. The 1v1 concludes, but no one falls in the Moonscape Mirage. Solé has no flash, has to escape, gets tagged by the token coming in. See, that's a triple kill. 3 waves marching in. 2 waves already knocking on the tier 3. But once again, death from below. Rampage for TNX.
That's gonna be it. Look at that. It's only gonna be one more person. The Sakir is going to fall. The minions are gonna come in. The crystal's gonna fall. Congratulations to Dominator Esports taking game 1 of our KIS4.
It's like a storyline here, Isaac. To dominate or be dominated. Dominator showcased a game 1 that was absolutely beautiful. The engages were so solid coming in from the side of PUBG on that Martial Monk Dharma. So beautiful. 2, I counted 2 amazing ultimates was enough to just seal the game for DMT.
The Dharma is gonna have to take the spotlight in here, right? Like, hopefully we'll be able to see the highlights very soon. The way that the Dharma just started just setting up all the team for success, it was the real key for the victory of Dominator Esports. In what I think it was not even 10 minutes. We did not make it even to the 10 minutes mark, I believe.
I don't think so. Wait, maybe 9 or just nice at 10?
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. That was how aggressive that DMT actually played. That's why you don't ever give them the holy trio. Mai Shiranui, Zhang Fei, and also Dharma. This is the bread and butter of Dominator Esports since 2024.
I just love the way the Dominator Esports played, the rotations and everything, the communication between them. It just felt like everyone was very in sync. Something that we discussed at the beginning was how could these teams actually show us that they can be in sync when you have so many different roster changes. The way that they played tell us that they have already set a very clear plan. How do we actually be able to come in? They take the first turns, they take the first blood in amazing way. This might just show us a little bit, those first signs of what kind of team Dominator Esports is going to be for this 2026.
It's very aggressive playstyle with coordinated plays. We can say that, okay, every single play, I won't say every single, but 1 or 2 plays were initiated by the side of KAGENDRA on that highest ultimate. But the assistance coming in from the 4 other members were not as quick compared to Dominator. The moment that Els Zhang Fei got caught by the Moonscape Mirage coming in by Senko, you can see immediately everybody just appeared on the doorstep waiting for the ultimate to finish.
Yes, exactly. And the way that the game finishes at the end, right? Like it was just two big fights. I would dare to say. The first one I wouldn't even count it as a big fight. I would say just these two big fights. One over there in the mid lane, just coming in, just taking in the big fight, winning the mid lane turret, and then the last one over there where they just come in, push it in, destroying on the high ground. Those two big fights was more than enough for them just to claim this game in such a destructive fashion.
Yeah, just look through the stats. On the side of KAGENDRA, they only got only one kill out of the entirety of that onslaught coming in by Dominator Esports. You can see the fights are always revolving around two players, L and CC, the farm roam duo. 0014 on towards the Zhangfei roam, and 4010 on towards CC's Magistrate.
The way that they set it up in here, I would dare to say that it was a little bit more of KAGENDRA providing the opportunities for Dominator Esports, and Dominator just being able just to capitalize out of those. Doing a very good performance in here. Only 10 minutes long for that first match tells you a lot about the pace that Dominator Esports wants to play for this KIS4.
And this is the damage distribution, the stats that we see so far. Actually, it looks really good if you don't see the game winnings, kill scores, and everything. Everything is like very maxed out between all players. But it's really down to what we say, coordination. You can have the best of the stats, but when you're not coordinated as a team and you don't play as a team, you are always down specific numbers in big team fights.
Look at the gold graph and the way that it just started just going up. It starts ramping up. There's a little spike after they have that first fight before the technical pause. And then after that, they just go exponential growth all the way till 10 minutes, finishing with a 9,500 lead. Even if they would have decided not to push in toward the crystal and going back and take the overlord, they would have actually won the game 2 minutes after.
That's the thing, right? When you continuously snowball against the enemy team, and KAGENDRA gave you opportunity as Tubzy, the man on our screen on that Dharma, the way that he initiated those big fights around turrets was just magnificent in allowing Dominator to get those big leads that we talk about in that goal graph.
Yes, completely. Yes, I completely agree with you, and the difference of the way that they played those two heroes is what made a very big difference. Let's think about how we can just turn things around and look at what KAGENDRA tried to do in this game. KAGENDRA comes in with trying to show that FaZe can actually be the new motor that they need in order to move forward. FaZe with that Agudo pick, losing that advantage so early in the game might have just slowed him down a lot. So we cannot even just say that whose bad performance it was. I do believe that it was just Dominator Esports taking control of everything. It was very difficult for Senku as well on that Heya.
I fully agree to you, where we cannot nitpick on a specific player. It's more of a collaborative team effort that allowed DMT to play much better compared to KAGENDRA, at least in this game one, because we saw in multiple occasions, Soleil's Charlotte was either too slow to the fight, or the other four members of KAGENDRA was too early to initiate or be initiated by DMT.
This first game gives me a little bit of a feeling at KAGENDRA, even though they're right over there in Jakarta, international stage. Are we talking about like going back to old habits maybe from KAGENDRA?
Still too early to say, but we do have to award the MVP to.
I needed to fish a little bit. Sorry, man. I needed to fish to see if you came in with me.
I mean, it's too early to say, right? But with that game 1 performance coming in from TNX on the Lam Stelfin, that was really magnificent. Every single play that his team has set him up, he followed it with precision and perfection. Just like what you mentioned here during the pick and bans. Like Lam cannot just dive in without a motive or without a proper angle. But every little play that we saw in that game 1, he found beautiful ones to set the players back in towards his pockets, and this was one of the few ones.
First blood.
And that's what I'm talking about. And like just that. Look at that. Like the Drumfake has the ulti, even though they have been sustaining damage already for a while, and the Drumfake can still sustain to give time to KNX to join into the fight. This one right over here, on the other hand, I think that it was a little bit of too big of an overstep.
Oh, but look at this one though. Look at Tough C's positioning here. That Dharma. Flash, spell one in towards three people, setting up that big knockout. Such a disgusting one if you're a Kagendra fan.
It is just a beautiful. That's one of the things I love about the Dharma, just the flash and then the true Dharma, the mantra coming in immediately after that. Being able to just connect it like that in such a beautiful synergy is important. Triple kill coming in here from CC. In the moment that he needed to stand up, he stood up as well.
He played really the textbook style of how you need to play a marksman. Nothing too flashy, very consistent positioning, and always at the enemy's edge of the screen, doing DPS either on your turret or the big plays that his team has set him up for success. That's why